go ahead and comment your questions as well, and I'll see if I can help you all the same. All right, wealth creation playbook. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Really quickly, you guys know a lot of you have been added here recently. Over 275 of you have come on in this past week alone. So first of all, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. What creating wealth, guys, is a team sport. And that's why I created this group so I can share principles, concepts, things that I'm learning. A lot of this stuff that I'm paying thousands of dollars for, I turn around and share it with you. Hopefully, you will take the necessary actions that you need. Real quick, one announcement. I'm expanding my financial education franchise. If you want to make some extra money from home, building a business online, helping people with their finances, then I have two webinars going on today. One at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, that's 4 p.m. Eastern. And then the other one is at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. All you have to do to RSVP is go to event.myfamilyempire.com. Go to event.myfamilyempire.com. You guys got questions? Go ahead and comment your questions now. But we also have already some questions that have been submitted. So I'm just going to start with those questions. Let me just hop over to a screen share real quick, and let's take a look at some of those questions. So let me view all of the comments. So let's see. Marlicia McJunkins, I believe is her name, says, hey, my biggest financial challenge right now is funding capital, not a loan, right? So I asked a follow-up question. What is it that she needs funding for? What kind of business? She says she has an athleisure wear with the idea to make the product from scratch and not use vendors, my own designs, own fabric ideas, etc. So I would say to Marlicia, while that is the end goal, I think it's okay to start building up your capital while you're positioning yourself to get business funding, right? And what do I mean by that? While you do ultimately want your own brand that you're going to build from scratch, I think it's okay that if you became an affiliate of another brand, if you found a way to sell some other athleisure wear where you're going to make a commission and you start building your tribe of people who are going to eventually buy your brand, but you should at least become known as a person and an influencer in the athleisure wear community by selling other hot brands where you can make money and you can build your own revenue. If you are doing this in conjunction with a job, I would also say that if you're working a full-time job and you're building this on the side, make sure that you know how to adjust your W-4 form properly to where you can get an increase in your take-home pay on your job, and that can free up some money that you could start using to invest into this other deal. I do have the ability to help you. Let me see if I can find the link to this private webinar that talks all about business funding and lines of credit. Even though you say you're not looking for funding, you're not looking for a loan. If you build a big enough tribe, then maybe you can bring on investors that will help you build. But if you don't want a loan, then you have to build your own capital. Another thing that you could look into is the concept of infinite banking. Infinite banking is a way to use life insurance as a way to fund both your life insurance, but also get you access to capital when you need it. But it sounds like you don't want any loan whatsoever. That means you have to build your capital. What's going on? Bailey, you have to build your capital when you don't want a loan. That means you have to get your sales up in some way. Maybe even if it's as something as simple as design your first athleisure t-shirt, right? And you selling that t-shirt, maybe you can get 1,000 of those t-shirts done, you know, for, I don't know, $3,000, right? But the margin on your t-shirt is, say, $10. Well, you've got 1,000 of those mugs, you sell them all, and you just made 10,000 of your own money, while at the same time building your tribe and putting your brand out there. So that would be my recommendation, since you don't want a loan. Chris Banks says, bills, equipment breaks down, paying the help, etc. And he is in a lawn service business. Well, if you're in lawn service, Chris, I would definitely think about business financing and business funding. I'll share a link with you here shortly where you can go see. I've got a link to a private webinar that exposes you to all the things that you need to be doing to set up your business to qualify for funding, right? I would also say, if you did not apply for the small business loan money that is out there, if you have employees, if you have equipment, you can easily prove that COVID-19 has hindered your business in some way. Applying for that loan could put, $10, $20, $30, $40,000 of capital infused into your business, and that can help you go to the next level as well. Also, I would say you should too look at the infinite banking concept, because I'm sure you have life insurance, but if you are paying for your life insurance in an infinite banking way, then that would change the game for you, because you would have life insurance. You got to pay for that anyway, but then you'll have access to borrow against that policy to continue to fund and grow your business. So I would definitely look at infinite banking. I have Denzel Rodriguez coming on my show tomorrow morning. So if you don't follow the Cortez Hustle Show, he's going to talk about velocity banking. That's another way that you can flip money really, really fast and grow some access to capital using private personal lines of credit. So maybe that's something that you could do as well. Hey, if you guys are, Coach said, I need that that link too. I got you, bro. If you guys got questions on IG, you can jump in as well with your questions. Your biggest financial challenge, business or personal. William Logan says, hey, my biggest challenge is debt. Also, I would look, William, at velocity banking. Like I said, I've got Denzel Rodriguez coming on tomorrow on my show, 7 a.m. Central Time, to the Cortez Hustle Show. If you follow my page, Financial Health Mentor, it's going to be live on there. If you follow my YouTube channel, Financial Health Mentor, it's going to be live on there. And you can also go to thecortezhustleshow.com. The website is going to be on there. And then tomorrow afternoon, it'll be available for download on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, all of your favorite podcasting places as well. But velocity banking is a way to get out of debt. Also, income shifting is a way to get out of debt. I would say if you are working a job and you don't have a home-based business, start there, right? Because if you're working a job and you don't have a home-based business, adding a home-based business could potentially get you an extra $300 to $600 a month pay raise from your current job. You take that money and you start paying down debt. I'll be talking all about that on my webinar today at 3 p.m. Then again at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All you got to do is go to event.myfamilyempire.com to RSVP for that. Let's see. Bria Ellerby says, hey, my biggest financial challenge is investing, financial literacy, and money management. I would say let's start with the financial literacy and the money management, because that's going to ultimately free up the cash and help you with the terminology and perspective to start investing and growing your money. So when most people say money management, usually it means I make decent money on my job. I just don't know where it's going. Listen, when it comes to money management, there's 4 numbers that you have to be tracking, right? 4 primary, and there's a couple other things that you're going to track as well. But number 1, you have to track your income, you have to track your expenses, you have to track your debt, and you ultimately have to track your cash flow. Now, your cash flow is your income minus debts and expenses, and whatever is left over is your cash flow. If you don't have any cash flow, then you might need to look at your expenses and see what you can cut out. Or you might need to look at a way to increase your income. Again, I'll be talking all about that on today's webinar. All you got to do is go to event.myfamilyempire.com, RSVP for the time slot that's going to work for your schedule. But one of the things that we do is we help people expand their cash flow and increase their income. Also, if you don't have a home-based business, one of the things that you could do is when you have a home-based business, it lets you attack the 4 challenges that's hurting you financially: taxes, debt, inflation, and lack of investments, right? A home-based business, believe it or not, can help you fix all of those things. If you decided to partner with me in a home-based business, our home-based business is financial literacy. It is economic empowerment. It is financial strategies. You do get a team of professionals that can help you change your personal finances. So I would say definitely look to attending one of our webinars. We got them going on all this week, but go to event.myfamilyempire.com to RSVP for the one that's going to work for you. Don says, extra money and finding like-minded people who want it bad. Definitely you are in the right place with the Wealth Creation Playbook. We are like-minded. That's all we do. Hey, if you guys are hopping on IG, you can ask your question as well. What is your biggest financial challenge? But extra money is you can increase your cash flow in 2 ways. You can make more money, or you can spend less, or you can use a combination of the both, right? You can make more money, you can spend less, or you can do a combination of the 2, right? So you can either start a business to make more money. If you look at your expenses and you got things that you do not need, you do not use, you cut some of those things out, and all of a sudden you've increased your cash flow, right? Take that increase in cash flow, apply it towards your debts, and now you're going to create even more cash flow, right? And as you continue to do that, you continue to learn and grow and increase your financial knowledge. Guess what? You're going to attract the right people who want to connect with you, right? It is that simple. Let's see. False Prophet says, why not become a real financial advisor? He says this is MLM, and he's right. I have no qualms with talking about the fact that I promote and I'm an advocate of network marketing industry and building businesses from home. I do believe that that is a way for the average person to get their feet wet as entrepreneurs. That's a good way for the average person to start accessing the tax code and get on the other side of that. So that's a good way for a lot of people to increase their income, right? So John Woolford says, wondering if I'm doing enough, right? So he says, so I asked a response question, what are goals and exactly what are you doing to hit them? He said, good question. I'm not sure. I'm trying to save for the future. I'm putting money away, about $200 every 2 weeks. I pay extra on my house. I'm building my credit, and I try to live in a kind of frugal way. Well, John, my friend, you are doing, like I said, I also have a DBA for a t-shirt and sticker business that I'm trying to build. you are doing the things, John. I would just say continue to do those things, right? The one thing that I might you might want to look into is infinite banking, because depending on where and how you're saving that $200 every 2 weeks, it could potentially be doing a little bit more for you based on how and where you're saving that $200 per week. So I would definitely look at infinite banking as a way to grow your money without risk of loss and a safe environment. But also, when you're doing infinite banking, your dollars are having 2 and 3 and 4 purposes. So that will definitely be something that I will look to do. DBA for the t-shirt and sticker business, I think that is a great opportunity for you to continue to pursue. Just hit it hard, man. You know, building a business is not easy, but putting forth the energy and the effort, learning branding, learning marketing, learning sales, I think that will take you a long way, my friend. All right. So let's see who else says. Lucretia Scott says how to get started properly or where in investing. Now, I am not a financial advisor, so I can't give you advice in terms of where to invest. But when you're talking about getting started properly, there's 4 things you should be tracking, Lucretia. Are you tracking your income? Are you tracking your cash flow? Are you tracking your expenses and your debts, right? See, when you understand that I have this amount of income, I have these debts and expenses, and the money that's left over is what's called your cash flow. If you are comfortable taking some of that cash flow and being willing to lose it, meaning putting it at risk, then you can start looking at some investments. There are some great folks that you can follow in terms of investing. I've got a guy who's been on my show several times, Prince Dykes. He is a great investment advisor and investment strategist. So that might be somebody that you want to look up. Prince E. Dykes, he's a phenomenal coach in terms of investing. He is licensed and certified and all that good stuff. But most people don't invest for 2 primary reasons. They don't have the discretionary cash flow to do so, and they're usually scared, right? Meaning they don't have the knowledge. So I would advise start getting your knowledge up, right? Start listening to podcasts on investing. Start reading books on investing. Start getting your mindset wrapped around the idea of investing, and that's the best place for you to start. But make sure you're tracking your numbers. How much income do you have? How much expenses do you have? Can you cut any of those expenses? How much debt do you have? How are you managing your debt? How are you getting out of that debt? And then how much cash flow is left over? And then what amount of that cash flow are you willing to put at risk to for the sake of growing a nest egg for you in the future, right? Let's see. Let me see who else. Has anybody dropped any comments in the line? Nope. All right. So let's look at one more. I think this is the last one. D Lane says money in general and time. He says he's building an e-commerce store. He's trading Forex, or maybe he wants to learn trading Forex, stocks, etc. Also, real estate investing. I would say, D, probably just start with one. Pick one, focus all of your energy and effort in learning and growing that one, and then start adding to another 1 or 2 or 3, later down the road. Because none of these are easy. Building an e-commerce store is not easy. Taking the time to learn how to trade Forex is not easy. Learning how to invest in the stock market is not easy. Real estate investing is not easy. But it comes increasingly more crazy when you're trying to do all of those things at the same time. So I would say pick one and give it your all for the next 12 to 18 months. Become super proficient at that. make it make revenue, and then you can, parlay into another thing or another one. Let's see. So False Prophet says, I don't know if I can scroll your comments down. Why should anyone take financial advice from you? You are not licensed to give financial advice. That's a question for them. What happened to Motor Club of America? What happened to my econ? What happened to Wake Up Now? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't even understand the terms you are using. That's up to you to determine. And that's up to the people who are listening also to determine if they find value in the things that I'm saying. Great. If they don't, then they can find someone else to listen to, right? I think that's just kind of where we are in today's society. I never professed to be a super professional. You never heard me say that I'm a financial advisor or a financial planner. In fact, all of my disclaimers will say that I am not those things. But what I am doing is trying to encourage people to increase their financial literacy, encourage people to increase their literacy on entrepreneurship, encourage people to dream big and pursue those dreams, encourage people to understand the power of using social media to grow and build their brand. So you're right. I am not a financial planner or a financial advisor. And hey, if you don't want to listen to me, don't. But that's for people to determine. All I can say is I have people who have listened to me. They've executed some of the things that I've said. They've done their own research, found what I've said to be helpful. They've applied it, and they've gotten results, right? This is what happened to all the MLMs you were in that failed. I'm still in them. And they still pay me residual income every month. But I think one of the things that troubles people about MLM is if you don't learn how to take an MLM serious, if you don't learn how to build it as a real business, yes, there's a lot of people who will fail at that. There's a lot of people who will fail at online marketing. There's a lot of people who will fail at internet marketing. There's a lot of people who will fail at traditional businesses. There's a lot of people who will fail at a lot of things. There's a lot of people who will fail at school and drop out, right? But is it the school or is it the person, right? So I'm just saying, but I appreciate your concern. It sounds like you are someone who is really looking out for the people, right? And that's what we need. We need people who are advocating on behalf of the people so people don't get hurt. And it sounds like that's what your page is all about. And I appreciate you for that, my brother. Let's see. Lady Bootsy says, good morning. We've got 6 more minutes. Those are all the questions that I have from the private Facebook group. So I appreciate all of you guys who submitted your questions. And let's see. Anybody else got any questions on the live that we can deal with? So you got any questions live? Any questions that you guys are tuning in live? Says, don't compare a college with a pyramid scheme. Why not? Why not? A lot of people go to college and fail. A lot of people go to college, get degrees, and don't even get jobs in the field where those degrees come from, right? So I get it, man. You don't like network marketing. I get it that you don't like people who promote network marketing. I get it. And that's just where we have a difference of opinion. I believe in the network marketing industry, always have. Have I failed at some? Yeah. Have I left some and went to others? Yeah. But I don't think that's a negative on the industry, right? But, everybody has their own opinion on what someone should do to be successful. Let me ask you this. What do you think should be successful, right? What do you think we should be doing to be successful? Because clearly you don't like any of the advice that I'm getting, right? What do you think we should be doing to be successful? I would like to know what your plan is, right? Because it's one thing to say what somebody else is doing isn't the best course of action for the community, but then it's another thing for you to say, hey, don't go down that road, go down this road instead. So what is your this road instead? You don't like network marketing. What do you think the average American person should be doing to change their financial situation, right? All right, so we got 4 more minutes, guys, and I got to jump off, get ready to head to church this morning. But as promised, guys, we will do this on a weekly basis. Even if you're seeing this on a replay, make sure you comment your question, and we'll table that question, and I will come back at you next week with more of those answers. So he says it is simple. Work hard and get a high-paying skill or trade. Okay, I can agree that that is one way to have success, right? But I also know there's a lot of people who make a lot of money, but because they don't have financial literacy, they don't know what to do with the money, they die broke. But I appreciate you offering that, right? Don't waste money on scams or fake gurus, right? I also agree. Don't waste money on scams or fake gurus, right? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we've answered all the questions for this morning. If you have any other questions, let me know. Good morning. What's going on? I don't know why it doesn't say your name. It just says Facebook user. We got 3 minutes, guys. If you guys got questions you want to pose really quickly, definitely hit me up. Also, we do have the webinars at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time today and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time today. If you are interested, all you got to do is go to event.myfamilyempire.com to RSVP for the time that works best for you. Hop on those webinars, and we're going to be taking a deeper dive into how you can overcome the 4 financial challenges that most people are dealing with: taxes, inflation, debt, and lack of assets. And we're going to offer you the solution or the opportunity to partner with us in our network marketing business, our MLM, which False Profits does not like, obviously. And if you don't like network marketing, then that's cool too. But it's how I fed my family for the last 5 years. It's what got me off my job October 3rd, 2016. And I haven't had to work a job since because of the MLM industry. So I'm a big time advocate of the industry. Nobody can talk me out of why or MLM doesn't work, because it absolutely does work if you work it. So with that, my friend, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Until I talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.